Greetings, fellow greymanes. I haven't done a video for probably about 2, if not 3 weeks. Just life gets in the way, you know, running a business, 2 small children to look after, one of who fell over and broke a collarbone, so it's all been a bit crazy the last few weeks. So I thought I would try and do a short-ish video without too much rambling on how many of the Dyehouses you can access early game. So I am in Chapter 5, guessed unbidden, about 70% through, because I seem to keep getting distracted by other things. So where are we on the map? So this is one of the first ones we'll come across. It's just outside Hernand, down by the river. This is the guy, I can't remember the names. Oh, it says there, look, Theoric. He gives you red dyes, I believe. And then the next easily accessible one is in Pororin village. If you've not accessed that yet, when you go down that way, you'll get hit by a sleep dart by the small shy children. If you let them do that 3 times, you'll then be sent on a little mission to find something, can't remember what it was, which is sitting on the top of a giant wandering tree. What do they call them? Ents? Don't know what they call them in this game. So yeah, if you get hit by a sleep dart, don't just think, I can't get into this. Let them dart you 3 times, and then they'll give you a mission, and then you can get in and get the dye house for Devin. The Pororin village dye house does yellows and things, yellows and some pale whites. Then there is one just north of Hernand over here, next to the deep basin. I think he does greens. Yes, I think he does greens. Then you've got to go on a bit of a trek to get to the next. So that's the first 3. Then there's 2 more you can get early game. There's some in Dyehouses, but you cannot access them until you think you've got to unlock chapter 7 before you can access those. So the stalls are there, but there's nobody at them. But there is one. Hang on, let's zoom right out. Delicia. North of Delicia, look between the Y and the I up that river, and that is Castile. I think he did blues, possibly. And then the next one is a real trek all the way up through the Crimson Desert. I did this using a wyvern. I haven't done a video for that, but there's lots of them on YouTube. They're fairly easy to get in the end. And then go all the way up to Varnia, and you can access Alton's dye house. I think he did oranges, but bear with me a second. I'm just going to come back out to the crescent. And then we'll go back to camp. So I've unlocked quite a lot of the camp. So I've got the dye guy who's based at camp. Oh, sorry, I thought it did it. I thought it did the shorter cutscene. I think it only does it when you're on the actual circular. These ones, like I'm on now. If you're on these ones stood on the ground, if you teleport to another one of those, it does a shorter cutscene. Someone said it had been patched out, but I don't think it has. I think it's if you're going from the cressets, it doesn't work. But if we go and find the dye guy, I can't remember his name. Too much stuff to remember. Oliver. So
I hope you don't mind me saying,
I do.
your outfit would look so much better with
once
some
you've
slight changes.
visited those dye houses, you can then access the ones you visited in your dye house at the camp. Does it tell you where they're from? So that's the Hernandian one. That's the guy down by the river. That's the one in... It says Demonician, but I think that's the Delician guy. Oh, there is one in Dyehouses then. Missed that on the map. I'll have a look at that. I'll look for that in a second. That's the Delician wise. That's turquoisey blues. That's the guy north near Calfade. That's the Porrorim one. I've found a few of those out in the wild. Thomas Owen. Hang on, there must be another one on the map somewhere.
Life is fleeting.
Not very
If you discover
professional, is it? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, there's one at Tashgalp. Sorry, I forgot about that one. That's Thomaso. So there's one there as well. Where was the one in Domenis? Oh yeah, there's one just south of Domenis there, look, that you can access. There's another two north of the city somewhere, but you can't access those because they're in the city proper. And then there's one in Payloon, just inside the front gate down there somewhere, but again, you can't access that until you accessed possibly even chapter 8 for that one. I can't remember.
Fresh new colour.
However,
you must share it with me.
I'll just pop back into there.
Aren't
As
you
you see,
tired
chapter
of
5,
wearing the same colour every single day?
and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 die houses you can unlock fairly early on in the game, so it gives you a pretty good range of colours. The other thing to mention, which I may have mentioned in an earlier video, if you're
I was just about to take a
trying
break.
to buy from a die vendor,
But if it's just for a moment,
it won't do it
very
here.
well.
If it's if that die is, I don't know why this one's doing because I bought this one from him, but when I was going back to the guy by Hernand, it was greyed out saying that I couldn't buy it. It's not immediately clear if you don't know what you're doing, like me most of the time. On the right hand side down there you see the number 1, that's how many silver it costs, and then the little symbol next to it is how many you've got in your inventory, which it does tell you down the bottom. I wasn't registering the fact that if it's greyed out you can't buy it because you've already either bought it from him or because you've found it out in the wild somewhere and registered it. I will just buy this to show the other thing, just in case I didn't mention it in a previous video. So we've purchased that one now. I don't know why it keeps letting me buy this.
Fresh new colour.
For it to activate in the list of dies that you can use at the die houses, you need to use it in your inventory. Highlighted. Use it. That now
You must
disappears.
share it with me.
Don't quite know where that light grey
Can't
die.
help you now. Sorry.
What do you mean you can't help me now? What's new?
I can't help you now. Sorry.
Rude. Oh well, there we go. So that's the location of the... How many did I say it was? 7 dies that you can pick up early game. Sorry, that did end up being a bit rambly, as they often do. Anyway, as Cliff would say, that's just for you. Enjoy. Oh, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. I think I've got 3 subscribers. I'd quite like to get to 1,000 so I can put some add stuff on there. It might make a little bit of money, and I might then be able to buy a new TV, because this one's only 1080p, and although it's okay, it could be better. I can't justify the expense of buying a new TV at the moment. There we go. I'm going to stop waffling. Have a good day. See you all in the next one.